Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Let's Play Nioh 2. 16 years ago, Nioh was going to be a PS3 game based on an unfinished Akira Kurosawa script. Then it languished in development hell until 2017. And then it came out and it was really good. It was this historical fiction action RPG that kind of took how Souls games played and just ran in its own direction with it. It played like a dream, but it had some issues. So now, just 3 more years after the first game came out, we have Nioh 2, and it is a pure sequel. The kind of sequel that you hope every sequel to a flawed good game with a lot of untapped potential gets. It just drills down even deeper. It fixes pretty much all of my complaints with Nioh, or at least sweeps them under the rug pretty well. It just doubles down on all of its core competencies. It's so good. So I am really excited to Let's Play this.
マレ人と呼び崇めました。しかし次第に恐れられ、ひどい目に遭ってからは人々を襲い始め、ついには鬼と呼ばれました。そこである若者が鬼に立ち向かいます。若者は黄金色の石をたくさん集め、キラキラと光り輝く不思議な刀を手に入れました。そして誰も倒せなかった鬼をその刀で切りました。鬼を殺した若者はその刀を残し、強く生きるのです。強く。
おお、もうかように大きくなったか。
はい。どのような子が生まれてくるのやら。この未来は限りなく広がっておりますれば。
So here's a new thing right away. We have character creation this time. Using that Fallout 3 style framing device really well. I love that opening, by the way. There's some gorgeous imagery in there too. I pre-made a character. He's a Himbeaux, but spelled Himbeaux, so you know he's kind of decadent and fancy like a pampered house cat. I love him. Oh, he's such a fancy lad. He likes to take... I imagine him like Hedonism Bot. If Hedonism Bot was a samurai. Also, this is so cool. It does reveal a feature of the game, but it's a feature that you learn about in the first level, the yōkai form. You get to choose each of the different types of forms, horns. And I went with the antlers for everyone because it's my favorite one. Also, as far as hair goes, I was very torn between two options. It's, I think, preset 1 and 13, or is it 13 and 26? Nope, definitely not that one. Where are you at? Yeah, so I ultimately went with that one. Is it 26? Yeah. I really dig that. I was torn between them, but I think the ponytail is cool. It fits him better. But also, there's this cool thing where you can customize it as two different hairstyles. There's some actually kind of nifty little things tucked away in the character creator for this. But our Himbeaux is complete. Our Himbeaux. And we are ready to play video game now. We're gonna grow up to be big and strong. And full of ennui as we eat grapes off of our fainting couch. Oh, I forgot something. Hold on. I forgot to switch my capture software. There, that's much better. Over to 60 FPS mode. Because Nioh 2 once again gives you the menu option to choose between a fluid frame rate or a higher fidelity experience. And I will always prefer to go with smoothness and responsiveness in an action game like this. I think this little yellow cloud of fog is so misleading because it's the item glow color. So it might make someone like me think that you should dive into the water because there might be a hidden goodie in the beginning. But no, you'll just die. You'll just die. So all the Nioh weapons are back. They have some new stuff, but brand new is the switchglaive and the hatchets. The odachi's back, the dual swords, kusarigama, my best friend. But no, we're going with the switchglaive. Let's start in low stance. It's kind of this saw cleaver. Very flowy, very cool. And then that's the strong attack. In mid stance, it's like a trick weapon. I finally get my naginata, kinda. The moveset's quite alright, the base moveset, but we will be upgrading that. And then in high stance, it's just this big fuck-off scythe. So that's pretty cool. And we can supplement that, just as in Nioh 1, with a secondary weapon. And this is the other brand new weapon, the hatchets. These dual hand axes. I gotta be honest, I'm gonna be running with the switchglaive for most of the game. I will try to remember to take breaks and mess with the hatchets and maybe some weapons I neglected in the first Nioh. But I'm going for this kind of a magic build, which we'll get back to in just a moment, because we, now that we've selected our weapons, can proceed to pick our guardian spirits. And we'll get 3 choices. We'll get the shark, which buffs our magic. We will get the fierce wolf, which can buff our strength. Or we can pick the swift burb. But no, we already know we're going with magic. This determines our yōkai form, like this phantom form. And each of the different forms, when you shift into them, have a different moveset. A different heavy, a different quick attack, and then that combined triangle and circle attack. Their unique yōkai ability. And since we're going with that, I'm just going to make sure I show off the movesets and the forms of the other ones, because they're cool as hell. That is its yōkai ability. And then finally the wolf. God, it's cool. I love them all. That's cool as hell. We're gonna stick primarily with the Phantom, though. That way, right off the bat, we're getting +2 to magic, +1 to skill, and we will talk more about the nitty-gritty details as we move forward. By the way, the yokai form thing, that's just basically the living weapons and the guardian spirits from Nioh 1. Toyotomi Hideyoshi, the man who achieved no small triumph in bringing unity to this nation, was born in a poor village in a time of civil strife, but was blessed with a shrewd mind and the courage needed to overcome adversity. The real-life Toyotomi Hideyoshi being referenced here is considered one of Japan's 3 great unifiers, alongside Oda Nobunaga and Tokugawa Ieyasu. See, we did grow up to be big and strong. So Nioh 2 continues on the Nioh tradition of being partially historical fiction, in which yokai and other creatures from Japanese mythology and folklore also exist. Whereas we played William Adams in the first game, this game's depiction of Toyotomi Hideyoshi is a little more creative, considering the whole character creator thing. We'll see more on that. The maelstrom of war knows no bounds, and even Jusen Zakura, a village once prosperous due to its abundant supply of post horses and work cattle, could not escape the chaos. Before long, it was reduced to little more than a ghost town. Now only yokai wander the deserted, ruined village. The springtime cherry blossoms, once enjoyed by the lively villagers as they went about their daily business, now bloom among the deafening silence of the long departed. So, the build I'm going for is going to be a primarily Switchglaive focused build, supplemented with lots of magic, which works out because Switchglaive's main damage scaling stat is magic. Here we'll get our very first shrine and enough Amrita, the game's currency/experience. Actually, no, it's one form of currency in a way, but yeah. Similar to how souls are in Dark Souls. That door can only be opened from the other side, so already we're being told that we'll have a shortcut up ahead. By the way, there is an incredible amount going on. I think I've already mentioned, so just like Nioh and the Souls games that I've LP'd, I will get around to explaining and talking about every little detail, but over time, so it's not too overwhelming.
Let me know if you see any good cows. Obviously, I'm going to tell you if I see any good cows.
And there, we have a friend! This is just a whole-ass boy. Whole-ass slab of beef. We have fought literally one other enemy, and now it's time to go to Beef Town. It's just Gozuki, man. It's fine. This is kind of our Vanguard moment. And you can see the arena is set up so that you're able to avoid him. And indeed, you can progress without fighting him. They're kind of calling you out, putting him here. Do you want to just skate by and escape and not have to deal with him? Or do you want to, at level 1, start some shit in someone else's neighborhood? They make him as huge and intimidating as possible to scare off first-time players. It's great. And I would love it if he could actually be just slightly more accurate with that attack. I would love that. You also really do have... That's why. You have to watch his hitbox. Watch his swings, because his hitboxes are huge. And for as many iframes as your dodge has, and what a good dodge it is, he can catch you. This isn't hard, but it's also not free. He can catch you with some shit. You can only really block 1 or 2 things before your guard broken. There it is! It feels really, really good. Gozuki wasn't being very accurate, but that is a burst counter. Something new to Nioh. When enemies flash red, it's telegraphing that they're about to do that really strong attack, and you can basically parry it by becoming yōkai for a second. And it knocks them back, it ruins their stamina, it does a little damage, and it protects you. It's great. It feels great. And that is one of Nioh 2's greatest strengths. Nioh and Nioh 2. How good it feels. How good the combat feels. How good it feels to just hit buttons. How enemies respond. How responsive the controls are. It plays like a dream. And it only gets better from here. Because we have not seen everything this game has to offer yet. Not even close. Oh my god! Oh, we have such a good ride ahead of us. I'm really excited about this. I was a little bit nervous. By the way, keep that shrine on the other side of the bridge in mind, the broken bridge, and keep this little village in mind too. By the way, up here we can kick down a ladder that acts as a shortcut, which is odd. Because why would you want a shortcut when the open door is right there? Again, just keep that in mind. We'll go a little ways in here just to see if we can grab something real quick. By the way, this is not going to be a 100% LP of this. I'm not going to be grabbing every collectible. No way in hell. So I was saying that I wasn't actually initially as excited about Nioh 2. I don't want to say that Nioh left a bad taste in my mouth, but it really does drag towards the end. It feels very bloated. There's an issue like with the way the level scaling works. And the bosses aren't amazing, but the core competency of it, the combat, how it plays, it's so good. So I was a little nervous that Nioh 2 was just going to be more of that, the good and the bad. And it is more of the good, but it also makes the good even better. And a lot of the bad things about Nioh, especially the pacing, not a problem. As far as I'm concerned, in this one. That's why it took me so long to get around to Let's Playing this. Is because I was playing this on my own, kind of slowly, because I didn't think I was going to LP this on release. I didn't think I was going to LP it at all until I just played this on my own time and realized, holy shit, this is amazing. So we have opened up that shortcut back to the very first shrine. And the route that we're going down from here is going to be the way that we would have had to go if we had skipped fighting that first big yokai Gozuki. Remember, we got a key from killing him that led us into that village area. And then we kicked down the ladder shortcut and all that. This is going to be an alternate path through the level. And I was branching out just for a second just to see if I could find one of the kodamas that I know is around here early on that I know I missed. Like I said, I'm not going to 100% this, but we're going to get a really good feel for the scope and complexity of these levels, because that's one of the big things that has been improved here in Nioh 2. I think the level design is a huge step up. I still think the loot system is kind of trash, which makes exploration, in a way, a little bit less extrinsically rewarding, but they've added some new types of collectibles and some other cool stuff, which are nice, and the levels themselves are more complex and they're more interesting, which makes them intrinsically more fun to explore, in my opinion. Plus, on top of being laden with really clever shortcuts and stuff, every level seems to have something like this, where there are alternate pathways that you can take through the levels, and those alternate paths feed into each other, and they provide different routes. It's really, really good. Plus, I think a lot of Nioh 2's art design is gorgeous. Like, not the art design, because the style and all that is the same as Nioh. There's a lot of stuff recycled from there. But the environmental design has even stepped up a lot. Especially in the later levels. But even a few coming up, it's just so gorgeous. God, that's fun. So I think pretty much every yokai from Nioh is back. Like every standard one. Along with the new additions, obviously, but they all have new stuff, because they all have, at minimum, at least one or two new burst attacks on top of their movesets from Nioh 1. Oop. Oh, I misspaced that. I have to make sure that I don't get murdered by a pretty easy early enemy. That Soul Core is part of a new system, which we can't really do anything with yet until we go back to a shrine. So we'll be talking about the Soul Cores, another new mechanic, probably next episode, right before the boss. Yeah, so I'm not going to 100% this, but I still want to at least grab some of the less out-of-the-way kodama and other new collectibles. I know that I've missed at least one or two already, though. And usually if you're close enough, you can hear the kodama making cute little noises. And if you're unsure of what I'm referring to with the kodama, because you didn't play Nioh 1 or watch my LP of it, you'll see they are shaped like friends. I find mid-stance is one of my favorite ones for breaking guard. Especially once you start upgrading your moveset and adding things onto it. Like there are a couple of combo extenders that do really good stamina damage. That covers so much ground. You can start, it's so slow, but you could start winding it up from so far away. Switchblade is just so solid. And then low stance, I don't use it as often, but it has some really good crowd control capabilities. Especially against crowds of smaller enemies. Because you just hit all around yourself so fast. But I think mid stance is the most balanced one, and it's the one that I'm probably going to spend the most time in. Okay, good. I was going to say, I can't not grab the Kodama in this area. This cute little green friend. So when you collect a Kodama, you can go back to the shrine and get a blessing from it. The type of Kodama is indicated by the type of hat they're wearing. And they give you things like extra experience, a higher chance to find certain items, a higher chance to find elixirs, your healing source. And then you also get some passive benefits, like the elixir. The elixir Kodama. The more of them you have in a particular area, the more elixirs you will respawn with by default when you die. So you'll always have a certain minimum amount. But also, look at this! We tied that alternate pathway all the way back around to the village. Which is why that ladder shortcut exists. Because you can come through that area backwards after skipping Gozuki. If you choose to go that way. Or you can go the front way by just killing him and getting the key. This rules. And this is not even the best example of how good Nioh 2's level design can get. I need to be careful that I don't just get murdered, MDK'd by two pretty weak enemies. I don't have a bow yet, huh? That makes the sniper with the flaming arrows a little bit more annoying. Sometimes good level design is just making it so that an enemy sniper is just obstructed enough that you can't get shot while getting a collectible that's technically in its line of sight. Obstructing its vision just enough. Either way, we can deal with that now, before we even get the chance to climb up. Actually, no, there was a pathway up on the roofs, too. Like, that's a third way you can go through all of this, is taking the rooftop pathway that I forgot about. Oh, son of a bitch. Where? You? Okay. We're gonna block the wrong direction, that's fine. It's great to be back to kind of a Souls-like action RPG where using the bow and arrow works. It's still kind of... God, FromSoft, they are game design geniuses. But it's kind of embarrassing how bad using a bow and arrow in Dark Souls feels compared to Nioh. Even Dark Souls 3. You could do a Nioh Vanquish. Oh my god! I didn't know I wanted that until now. So before we backstab this fool, we're gonna spend our first couple of points. And what is it? Where is it that I want? I want the mid-stance ability that allows you to recover ki when you dodge. Where is that at? That is Running Water Man. Now for the Switchglaive, there is one particular early ability I want, and it is this, Focused Retribution. It's this huge wind-up on your high stance heavy attack that does 2 slashes. The wind-up is glacial, but there is a payoff. And we are gonna see that. Aww. Well, even without the backstab damage, because you do damage from, you do bonus damage from behind in Nioh. He turned around in a split second and denied me that sweet, sweet backstab damage. Oop, oop. Oh no. Okay. Kind of panicked there for a second, but recovered in time because the wind up on his burst attack is super long. Like the flash, it betrays how long the wind up is. So we still have this upper path available to us. We can jump up midway through this village section, which I think is really cool. Ooh, I mistimed that badly. I'm not gonna take any chances after that mistake. We're gonna yokai shift, which is very similar to activating your living weapon form in Nioh. But now you're a cool demon. Oh, and there's more to it. Like, you could see that purple gauge below my stamina. The blue, the green, the purple. Blue is health, green is stamina, which governs all your movement and all of your actions and blocking. And purple is anima. It takes a few bars of that, for instance, to do burst counters. And it governs anything else having to do with yokai abilities. And we'll just leave that little tidbit hanging until we get some more stuff. Oh, I was kind of hoping you could cut that down. Wasn't sure. As much as I enjoy Nioh 2, and I loved the first time through scouring every little bit just because it was intrinsically fun to do. Oh, like, look at that view. My god, that's pretty. Nioh 2 now has a photo mode. When I was going through the early game the first time, I don't think it did. And this is a game that, especially as we move forward, you're gonna see it needs a photo mode. It can get pretty gorgeous. There are a lot of familiar environments from Nioh, but they're just either more detailed now, or they're just brand new landscapes and environments, and it's pretty as hell. And we have another really cool shortcut. And we're gonna go ahead and stick with my Amrita blessing. The other one that I usually default to is a higher elixir drop rate. Oh, that doesn't carry you as far forward as I was hoping. The regular heavy attack for high stance moves you really far forward. But that wind up, the forced retribution? I already forgot its name. It doesn't lunge quite as far. So you have to work a little more to set it up. Ooh, trade. Damn it. Oh, he's out. Cool, we will grapple him, and murder will occur. And then I know... There you are. Managed to drop aggro, which was pretty handy. Oh, it plays so well. God, it feels really good. And then, is there one more? So, like the first game, Nioh 2 continues to love cats. So we had the cute little guys in the Kodama. They're back, but they're not the only friends this time. This thing is called a Maneki Nico, or a beckoning cat, that brings you good fortune. In-game, I believe they're referred to as scampusses. And they give you a buff to anima generation, the purple meter, that governs all of your yokai stuff. And they also just kind of go around and sting enemies and annoy them. Which means they can actually do some okay damage, but they're also pretty good for crowd control. And then eventually the meter runs out. You can see the buff below my anima gauge is gradually ticking down. He's like a little puffer fish. We're gonna line this up and good. Get both as backstabs. Boom. God, that feels really good. This is kind of a tight space, and you'll notice since this is, again, something new to Nioh 2, the yokai realm. Ooh, I really needed that, or I would have died. You'll notice when you do things in the regular human realm. Is that? Yeah, he hit. Fuck. When you stand in those yokai puddles of defilement, it hampers your stamina regeneration. Well, this is an entirely defiled realm. So your stamina regen is always hamstrung while you're in here. It makes the fights really, really tense. And it makes you change your tactics and how you approach enemies. It makes enemies much more dangerous because you're much more likely to get guard broken or caught without enough stamina to dodge. You'll run yourself out attacking more easily, which makes it take longer for the stamina gauge to recover. They are really cool additions that add a lot of tension to levels. They're like the hard mode section of the level. And every level has at least one of those. The other thing is, this shrine was here, but if we had tried to interact with it in the defilement realm, in the yokai realm, it would have been unavailable to use. Same with the chests that had the locked animation over them. But now with that inner shrine key that we got... Oh, and also you saw once you kill the main yokai in the yokai realm, it dissipates the effect. I just love that stark, kind of inky gray and black, where the only real colors are like the bright yellows of the yokai horns, or these deep reds of like spider lilies. And that is going to do it for the first episode of Nioh 2. I am really excited to get to the boss, and bosses beyond this, because Nioh 2 has some really good ones! Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, other algorithm things. Check out the Discord, my Patreon. Take it easy. Have a good one, y'all.